Hey everyone, Michael here. I wanted to pop on today and just do a quick video about the topic of self-image and specifically how having a positive self-image is different than being narcissistic. And the reason why I wanted to make this video is because what I've noticed within me and also within others who are trying to improve their self-image, what happens is as we begin to improve that, it feels a lot to us like we're being narcissistic, or maybe it feels like we're being we're bragging or being full of ourselves. And so I want to take some time to distinguish what the difference is there. So first of all, let's talk about self-image. Your self-image is basically the way you see yourself. It is an interpretation of you. It is your opinion of yourself. It is not a fact. Your self-image is not a fact, just like other people's perception of you is not a fact either. Now, we spend a lot of time focusing on what other people think of us. We spend a lot of time, for many people, getting that sense of self-image from other. And as we've learned this month in the Gay Men's Brotherhood, is that it's an inside job, right? Everything comes from within first. So for some of us, controlling or worrying about how other people see us is a full-time job. And what I want to ask you first and foremost is, what is your opinion of yourself even based on? Is it based on what your parents have thought of you? Are you so conditioned to believe what others have thought of you and think of you that you have now created that opinion for yourself? For many people, I think that what happens is we try so hard to be accepted, to feel like we are worthy of attention and love from others. And so we act in a performative way to get that sense of approval and validation, which is fine. We all do this to some degree. But when it comes to worthiness, I want to digress a little bit here. When it comes to worthiness, I want you to remember that you don't get to decide whether you're worthy or unworthy. No one else out there in the world gets to decide whether you're worthy or unworthy. Worthiness, in fact, is not even a decision. It just is. You can believe that you're not worthy, but the truth is you are. You're always worthy. Your worthiness is innate within you. You are worthy by design. You are worthy because you are alive and you're here. And so all of your lovability and all of your acceptableness and even your not acceptableness is irrelevant to the fact that you are worthy. Okay, so now that I've talked a little bit about that, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with the topic of self-image. So I've done a lot of work on myself. I used to obtain that sense of self-image from other, just like many of us do, right? We're conditioned to grow up this way. We're children, we look to our parents, we look to our teachers, and that's fine to a degree. But then we get to the point where we're an adult, and then we get to decide for ourselves, what do I want my opinion of myself to be? And most people want to think highly of themselves, but they don't for many, many reasons. And what happens is when you start to learn to practice to have better, more high quality thoughts of yourself, a higher opinion of yourself, what happens is it starts to feel a lot like you're being narcissistic, or maybe you're being a little bit full of yourself. And so something that I like to think about when I think of myself, my opinion of myself, is that I am obviously 100% worthy no matter what. That's always there. I'm also perfectly lovable just the way I am. And that I am a beautiful bundle of talents and traits and amazing things that I've done, and all of my flaws, all of my mistakes, all of my shortcomings, all of the things that I've done that I regret or I'm not very proud of. That is still part of me, and that still makes me beautiful. It makes me no less worthy, no less lovable, and no less acceptable to the others around me. And the same is true for you, right? So when I say that, it may sound like I'm being a narcissist because I love myself fully and without apology. I will always choose to practice feelings of greater love towards myself. For some, that may sound narcissistic, and even as I say it, it can sound that way. But I want to explain to you the difference between narcissism and having a positive self-image. When you're a narcissist, you think highly of yourself and low of other people. When you're bragging, you're saying, I'm better than you and others are not as good as me. So narcissism is loving yourself at the expense of others. And that's not at all what I'm suggesting here today. So my thinking is I'm worthy, I'm lovable, I'm acceptable, and I'm amazing. And so are you. I am not any better nor worse than you, and you're not any better nor worse than me. We are all here as humans equally living this life experience. Okay, and our worthiness is always innate and comes within us at all times. So it doesn't matter whether you think I'm worthy or unworthy, or whether I think you're worthy or unworthy. It doesn't matter. We're all worthy, period, full stop. We don't even need to have that discussion. And here's the thing. What I've noticed in my life and what I've helped clients with is when you love yourself, there's more that I can contribute to the world. When I honor myself and take care of myself is when I have more to give to others. And this is especially important as a coach in my profession. The more that I'm able to love myself genuinely and authentically, meaning all the things that I don't necessarily love about myself, when I can learn to accept those things, the more that I can accept those things in others genuinely, the more that I can look at my family, my friends, my partner, and say, yes, sometimes you really piss me off and there's things I don't love about you, but I still love you nonetheless, right? Notice the difference, things I love about you versus love you fully. So when I practice that within me, it's far easier for me to do that with others. The more compassionate I am with myself, the more compassionate I can be with other people. The more forgiving I am of myself and my mistakes, the more forgiving I am of others around me. And so it's very important then that we remember that having a positive self-image is not bragging, is not narcissistic. It is about fully loving yourself for who you are and realizing that everyone else out there, whether you agree with them or not, is also fully worthy of your love and attention and fully acceptable. Okay, so remember, having a positive self-image means that you're amazing and you know you're amazing, but also that everyone else is amazing too. We are not loving ourselves to anyone else's detriment, to anyone else's expense. It is a matter of loving yourself fully, realizing your full worthiness just as you are, and doing the same for others. It is being just as wonderful as everyone else out there, not superior to them. Okay, guys, that's what I've got for you today. I hope you have a great rest of the week. Be well.